History lied to you about what happened on that ridge in Judea. The official records say a man stood before a crowd and pointed to the sky. They say the people looked up and saw nothing but clouds, birds, and the burning sun. They say the crowd went home disappointed. That was the cover story. What actually happened was that 3 of the initiates didn't see the clouds. They saw the simulation break. Where his finger pointed, they saw the air begin to ripple, like heat rising from asphalt. They saw the fabric of the atmosphere tear open, a geometric fracture, invisible to the naked eye, shimmering in the space between spaces. It wasn't a hallucination, it was a breach. A standing wave in the fabric of reality that has always been there, hidden in plain sight. A direct line back to the monad. And this is exactly why you are here. Do not think for a second that you clicked on this video by accident. The algorithm didn't recommend this. Your vibration summoned it. You are here because you have felt the glitch too, haven't you? That gnawing sensation that the world around you is thin. That the buildings, the traffic, the daily grind are just a painted backdrop, and if you could just find the seam, you could pull it back. Most people are sleepwalking through a solid world. But for you, the solid world is starting to flicker. You aren't losing your mind. You are waking up. What I am about to show you is not a history lesson. It is the schematic for that door. It is the method to see what the chosen disciples saw and what the rest of the world remains blind to. Imagine sitting in a completely silent room. It feels empty. But if you turn on a radio and spin the dial, suddenly that silence explodes into music, voices, and static. The room didn't change. The content was always there, vibrating against your skin, passing through your body. You just lacked the device to translate the invisible into the visible. This is the first secret. We have been conditioned to believe that the monad, source consciousness, is far away, a distant star, a reward waiting after death. That is the deception of the material world. The Gospel of Thomas breaks this code with a single, dangerous line. The kingdom of the Father is spread out upon the earth, and men do not see it. Notice the phrasing. It is not coming, it is spread out. Right here, overlaid on your office, your bedroom, the street you walk down every morning. The portal Jesus pointed to wasn't made of brick and mortar. It was a tier and the frequency bandwidth. He understood that your biological eyes are not cameras. They are firewalls. This filter was installed to keep you focused on labor and survival, not transcendence. It is designed to block out 99% of reality. But the monad exists in the 99% you were programmed to ignore. Most people live and die trapped in the default setting. But you are different. Your filter is beginning to glitch. When you feel that sudden wave of detachment, or when a silence falls over a crowded room that feels heavy with meaning, you are momentarily picking up the signal of the monad. You are becoming the radio in the silent room. But be warned, turning this dial is not without consequences. How do you know if you are actually tuning in, or if you are just imagining it? How do you distinguish between spiritual awakening and a mental breakdown? The symptoms are unmistakable, and they are terrifyingly specific. Before we tune the frequency, we must confirm the hardware. Not everyone is wired to receive this transmission yet. So how do you know if you are one of the few who is actually ready to see the portal? Jesus spoke of those with eyes to see. He wasn't talking about vision. He was talking about a specific type of perceptual dissonance. The first symptom is the Uncanny Valley effect. It hits you when you are doing something mundane, washing dishes or driving to work. Suddenly, the scene around you loses its depth. The people talking to you seem like actors reciting lines. The textures of the world look rendered. For a split second, you feel like you could put your hand through the wall. Doctors call this dissociation. The Gnostics called it detachment. Your consciousness is momentarily unplugging from the simulation to show you the code underneath. Then comes the second marker, the collapsing of probability. You notice the patterns. Seeing 1111 is just the start. It evolves into impossible timing. You think of an old friend, and they call you 5 minutes later. You ask for a sign, and a stranger speaks the exact phrase you needed to hear. The sleeper calls it luck. You know it is the architecture of the monad winking at you. You are no longer just a character in the play. You are beginning to interact with the playwright. And finally, the most painful marker of all, the primal nostalgia. There is an ache in your chest, a heaviness you have carried since childhood. It is a homesickness for a place you have never been. You look at the stars and feel a pull so intense it almost hurts. This is the ultimate seal of the chosen. In the ancient texts, this is called the remembrance of the pleroma. If you didn't have this spark, you would be perfectly content with the material world. The very fact that you feel incomplete here is the proof that you are complete somewhere else. If these three things, the glitching of reality, the synchronization of events, and the impossible homesickness, resonate with you, then the diagnostic is complete. You are not broken. You are being activated. The portal is already reacting to your presence. Now, we must stop merely glimpsing it and learn to stabilize it. The reason the portal only appears in flashes, between sleep and waking, or in moments of shock, is because your broadcast signal is unstable. Human consciousness typically operates like a volatile weather system. Fear drops you into the basement. Excitement spikes you into the attic. But the portal does not exist at the highs or the lows. It exists in the stillness of the center. You cannot see the reflection of the moon in a boiling lake. You must first make the water glass still. Here is the protocol to stabilize your frequency. It is not about clearing your mind. That is a trap for beginners. It is about relocation, and you can do this right now. Even doing this for just 30 seconds will change the physiology of your body. Find a space of solitude. Sit upright, spine straight, acting as an antenna between earth and sky. Now ignore your brain. Your brain is a noise machine. Drop your awareness down, past your throat, and anchor it in the space directly behind your physical heart. This is not a metaphor. There is an energetic node located between your shoulder blades, deep inside the chest cavity. The ancients called it the secret chamber. It is the 0 point where your individual soul connects to the monad. Close your eyes and breathe into that specific point. Do not visualize light. Do not chant. Just feel. At first, it might feel empty. But wait. Hold your attention there with the precision of a laser. Within moments, you will notice a physical shift. You might feel a sudden urge to swallow, or a change in the taste of your saliva. That is not a coincidence. That is your vagus nerve shifting gears. That is physical proof that you are overriding the chaotic frequencies of your environment. As you lock onto this vibration, you are tuning the dial. Do this for 20 minutes daily. When you open your eyes, the world will look different. The colors will have a high-definition quality. The edges of objects will seem sharper, vibrating with hidden energy. This is high-fidelity perception. You have not just relaxed, you have shifted gears. You are now running on the frequency where the invisible becomes visible. Now you are ready to open your eyes. Truly open them and look at the air itself. Now open your eyes, but do not look at the world. Here is the secret technique hidden in the verse, "If thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light." Jesus was not speaking metaphorically. He was describing a physiological hack for the visual cortex. Human eyes are predators' eyes. They are designed to lock onto objects, chair, wall, window. This hard focus collapses the quantum wave function into solid particles. It solidifies the illusion. To see the portal, you must deactivate the predator and activate the seer. Sit comfortably. Fix your gaze on the empty space about 6 feet in front of you. Do not look at the wall behind. Look at the air between you and the wall. Soften your eyes. Let your eyelids relax until they feel heavy. Engage your peripheral vision. Be aware of the ceiling and floor without moving your pupils. You are telling your brain to stop processing objects and start processing the field. Hold this gaze. Breathe. At first, nothing happens. Then, you will see a distortion. It might look like heat waves rising from a summer road. It might look like the air is becoming gelatinous, fluid, or grainy, like visual static. Do not blink. Do not focus harder. This shimmer is the fabric of the simulation loosening. Suddenly, the static will organize. You might see a flash of complex geometry, a lattice of light that shouldn't be there. And in that exact moment, the simulation will fight back. Your analytical mind will scream, "Did I just imagine that?" This is the critical failure point. Doubt is not an emotion, it is a security protocol. It is a firewall designed to reset the illusion when a unit becomes too aware. The moment you analyze the miracle, you collapse the wave function. The portal vanishes, and you are staring at a blank wall again. You must bypass this reflex. When the shimmer appears, stay in the soft focus. Do not grab at it. Witness it with a passive, detached curiosity. Say to yourself, "I see you." The more you practice this non-grasping observation, the longer the portal stays open. The flash becomes a steady glow. You are no longer projecting a wish. You are perceiving the raw data of the monad before your brain filters it into reality. You have found the door. Now, you must prepare to handle the energy of walking through it. Do not run toward the light yet. This is where the careless get burned. Jesus warned his initiates that no one can serve two masters. This isn't a moral rule about sin. It is a technical warning about resonance. The portal acts like a membrane of absolute coherence. It is a high-voltage filter. It only allows things to pass through that are as unified as it is. If you try to cross the threshold while you are fragmented, carrying fear in one hand and desire in the other, you will short-circuit. You will bounce off the surface like a bird hitting glass, or worse, you will fracture your psyche. Preparation means fusion. Right now, you are a legion. You are a collection of conflicting subroutines, the skeptic, the wounded child, the shadow. Before you cross, you must summon the council. Sit before the shimmering space. In your mind's eye, see these fragments standing around you. Do not fight them. Do not try to kill your ego. That is a war you cannot win. Instead, treat them as raw data. Identify the fear. Identify the doubt. Do not engage with their stories. Simply saying, acknowledge the program. Then, pull them into the fire of your heart center. Command the system to merge. Collapse them into a single point of blinding white light in your chest. Feel the internal civil war end. Feel the silence of a house that is no longer divided against itself. This is the state Jesus lived in permanently. When he said, "I and the Father are one," he wasn't claiming to be a distant God. He was describing the physics of total coherence. He had gathered every fragment of his identity and fused them into a single laser beam of will. This fusion is the key. It is the password. The portal detects division and blocks it. It detects unity and opens. When you feel that click, when the internal noise stops, and there is only a singular vibrating I am, then, and only then, are you safe to take the final step. Once you are unified, the portal changes. It stops being a picture you are looking at and becomes a vacuum you are falling into. You will feel a magnetic pull, an irresistible gravity. This is the moment of crossing. Do not move your body. Push your consciousness against the membrane of the air. You will hit a wall of absolute resistance. This is the firewall of the ego. It is the safety mechanism of the simulation, designed to keep your avatar contained. Your survival instinct will scream that you are dying. In a way, you are. Ignore the panic. That is just the biological shell fearing its own obsolescence. Push harder. Or rather, surrender deeper. Stop fighting the gravity and let it take you. And then, in a heartbeat, the membrane ruptures. Jesus called this being born again. The churches taught you this meant water baptism. They missed the point entirely. He was describing the violent, ecstatic transition of consciousness moving from carbon-based limitation to light-based reality. When you cross through, the first thing you lose is you. The name you call yourself, your history, your trauma. It all dissolves like sugar in hot water. You are no longer the drop. You are the ocean. You are suddenly, terrifyingly aware that you are not a human being looking at the monad. You are the monad, who briefly dreamt it was a human. It is absolute silence, absolute intelligence. This is the secret that got the Gnostics hunted. This is the truth that is too dangerous for control systems. There is no God out there to worship. There is only the source in here to remember. You cannot stay there forever. Not yet. The gravity of your physical body will pull you back. You will snap back into the chair, into the room, into the heavy atmosphere of Earth. But you will not come back the same. The software has been upgraded. The virus of separation has been deleted. This truth will make you lonely at first. You will look at the world and realize you are the only one awake in a room full of sleepers. But that is the price of freedom. You have seen behind the curtain, and once you see, you can never unknow it. You must return now. Slowly let the gravity of the physical world pull you back into your chair, into your body, into this moment. Open your eyes. The room looks the same, doesn't it? But you are no longer the same. You have touched the source code. You are no longer a prisoner of the simulation. You are an operator within it. This is the final secret Jesus left for the chosen. You do not need to stay on the mountain to be holy. The mission is to bring the frequency of the mountain down into the marketplace. From this day forward, you are a living doorway. You don't need to preach. You don't need to convince anyone. Your very presence disrupts the illusion. When you walk into a room, the vibration changes. You are the anchor. You are the open channel that you have been looking for. Let us seal this activation with the final protocol. Close your eyes for 1 second and repeat this mantra, inscribing it upon your subconscious. I am the breach. I am the bridge. I am the open door that no one can shut. If you are ready to maintain this state, if you accept the responsibility of being awake, leave your mark in the comments below. Write simply, I hold the frequency. And to ensure you remain connected to this stream of hidden knowledge, to signal to the universe that you are listening, press the subscribe button now. The portal is open. The work begins.